Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy like back with another YouTube video. And in today's video we're gonna be talking about doing our let's talk, about the Hawkeye show, the upcoming Hawkeye show. So anyways, let's get into it. So we recently got a bit of news pertaining to the Hawkeye show, a bunch of news actually, or two pieces I would say news wise. And it's we got the official release date and rumored appearances from some other Marvel characters. But anyways, I felt like let's just do a let's talk because I haven't really talked about the show, but I'm actually pretty excited for the show. The more news we're getting about the show, and yeah. Anyways, let's go into it. So the Hawkeye show is supposed to be releasing on about November 24th, 2021. So that's about in right now it's August, about August, September, October, about three and almost 4 months I would say for the most part. Because I mean you gotta wait 24 days into November, so yeah, it's a little under 4 months I would say. Uh, and yeah, I'm pretty hyped up for the show. It's supposed to be about because right now we've already gotten, of course, the WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. Then we'll have What If just now, and Hawkeye. But I'm not too sure if Miss Marvel might take place before Hawkeye, or not take place but come up before Hawkeye. So I'm not too sure in that part. But yeah. Let's first of all let's talk about it. So after what has it been like? It's over 10 years. It's not over 10 years. It's just approaching 10 years, I think. Hawkeye's finally getting his own solo thing. Solo. Uh, kind of movie. It's a TV show basically, but it's getting movie treatment. So I kind of consider it as a movie. So I'm excited to see that go down. Because of course Hawkeye, to me personally, I think I really enjoy his character in the comics, as well as in the Avengers Earth Mightiest Hero TV show. I've been watching that recently, and I just see Hawkeye, and he's so cool in that show. But then you see over to the MCU, and Hawkeye hasn't really gotten much love in the MCU. I can't even lie, uh, and I can't even lie. I kind of don't like him either. I know there's a few people who like him in the MCU, but I'm personally not one of them. I'm not a huge fan of Hawkeye at all. I mean, in terms of the original six Avengers, I like him the least because that's just my personal opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Hawkeye in the MCU. I mean, Jeremy Renner obviously he looks like he gives it his all and everything, and he looks like he really tries for the role. It's just poor writing mixed with just bad adaptation. Well, it's not a bad adaptation per se. It's just more so in terms of the writing of his character. It just to me doesn't match up too well. I mean, to me he's more of just like a shield agent that joins up with the Avengers and he uses a bow and arrow and fights off whatever. I mean, that's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah. And then another thing, too, is his costume choice. Uh, Not a huge fan. I mean, he doesn't really have a costume. When I mean, in Endgame, I actually liked him a bit, so it wasn't too bad. So I'm curious to see if they'll go further with the Endgame kind of style. Also, I forgot to say this. The one thing, this is not a what I want to see video, so I won't be saying anything. I'll save that for like early November, I would say. But anyways, so yeah, basically, I wasn't a huge fan of him, and I feel like this show is gonna definitely redeem him. Especially, I'm pretty sure. I really hope so. We're getting a more comic accurate Hawkeye. I really also hope that we might get Purple Suit Hawkeye. That's personally, or some kind of resemblance to a costume. That's what I want to see. Because if you looked at the set photos and everything, uh, just uh, just in case nobody knew this, but Kate Bishop is supposed to be in the show, and she's actually kind of getting introduced in the show, and she's getting played by Haley Steinfeld, so that's pretty interesting. And she was wearing a purple costume, so that leads me to believe maybe that Hawkeye might get his costume. I hope so. I mean, in the other previous MCU shows, we've been seeing these characters getting the costume, like Scarlet Witch gets her traditional comic accurate costume, which I thought was pretty cool. Same with Captain America, Sam Wilson does as well. So I'm very hopeful that hopefully we'll get a Hawkeye costume. I really hope so. I mean, his costume's probably one of my personal favorites. I think he looks really cool in it. No, actually, I don't mind. I should differentiate. I mean, obviously, I don't know about the older kind of costume that's got like an attached cowl and everything, like the one he wears in Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes. But I like personally, I at the bare minimum, I would maybe like to see like the one where he has the purple sunglasses and his purple suit, like the more modernized one. I wouldn't mind seeing that as well. So yeah, it goes in two ways. So I'm pretty excited for that. In terms of the villain wise, I'm not sure exactly who the villain is. Just a quick spoiler warning for Black Widow. If you haven't seen it still, I mean, it's been a while. But yeah, Florence Pugh's character Yelena is supposed to make an appearance in this, and if you remember the post-credit scene, she basically said, Fontaine basically said, Hawkeye killed Black Widow, so that makes me believe maybe Hawkeye would be fighting her. Another thing I realized from like the set photos and stuff like that is it looks like Hawkeye's on the run, if that means anything, and or he's kind of going on an adventure, and that actually makes more sense for one theory I have personally. I don't know if anyone else has said this theory before, but I was thinking this also ties into the character that's supposed to appear, the rumored character, which is that Kingpin is supposed to be reprising his role. Vincent Treforio is supposed to reprise his role as Kingpin, and I definitely think that could be very interesting. So I'm curious to see what goes on with that. Uh, yeah, but in terms of my theory, what I'm thinking that maybe perhaps uh, after the events of Endgame, when you remember Hawkeye was literally killing all of the like bad guys and all these different guys and just literally slaughtering them over the period of 5 years. And what I'm thinking might happen is maybe Kingpin per se got snapped and Hawkeye ended up killing all of his men basically. So that could happen, and then Kingpin vows revenge, or maybe he's just like drug lords and everything are finally coming back, and they're seeing, oh man, all my men are dead and all this stuff. So I think eventually they're gonna try and fight each other. I mean, they're gonna try and find Hawkeye, and they're gonna be like, Hawkeye, you started this. I'm gonna slaughter you, and maybe they even like, I'm not gonna say kill his family, but I mean destroy his house or something, and they're on the run or something, because that'll be an interesting storyline. That's what I personally think would be very interesting. But of course, I hope eventually we're gonna get some details. Like it still doesn't have a trailer or anything. I mean, we've gotten set photos and release dates and certain scenes. I'm pretty sure it's done filming, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's done filming. But I mean, oh yeah, and of course, introduction of characters. I'm very psyched up to see Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. I'm excited to see maybe she sets up the new Avenger or the Young Avengers. I'm sorry, uh, but hopefully that'll happen. I mean, I'm pretty excited for that. I'm pretty sure it also setting up a character named Echo, which is pretty interesting. As she could be getting her own Disney Plus show as well, so that's interesting as well. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.